People say we should see everybody as brother or sister. How are you supposed to get married to someone? You know what? I'll tell you one thing. Yeah, I was talking to a singer about this the other day. I'll tell you what's funny. You know, it's a serious thing though. Good question. Good question. I want to just before I answer the question, I'll relate to something interesting. If you read our Itihas, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj met Kaljug. Kaljug came to Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And Kaljug is described as coming to Guru Nanak Dev Ji and holding two things. His ling, his ling and also his tongue. His genitals and his tongue. So Kaljug works to these two things, yeah? Big time. His power is through calm and through tongue. Yeah? So that's Kaljug, really. When our mind is in these two things, yeah, our mind is basically in Kaljug's hands. So basically the ras of those two things, whether it's talking in India or whether it's talking, eating food or whatever. What can we eat? So half the questions about meat, the rest of the questions about, there's two sections there on the top, questions about meat, questions about calm. Yeah. So that's why I didn't pick those up. Because they're there, they have to be dealt with, but actually they're a sign of Kaljug. They're a sign of Kaljug. So raise your surti above that. Yeah? Some of these questions don't actually need an answer. They're a bit simple-minded, so to speak. Yeah? It's obvious, isn't it? Yeah? You're going to have to start taking a hukamnama. Before you start deciding this person's for me, ask your guru. Yeah? Then if it's like, depending upon the situation with that girl or that guy, yeah, whether you are from a good Sikh family or not, or how it is works with you, what your path is, then if you are basically, when you're ready to get married, only then you should think about this stuff. There's no point in being 16 years old and you're not going to get married until you're about 21 or 22, and you start thinking, oh man, if we hooked up now, 5 years later, we could get married. You're having a laugh. Yeah? 5 years, it's very rare, very rare. If it's going to happen, let it happen afterwards. Yeah? Don't stress out that period of time when you're going to be, trying to get into your Sikhi by going down that route. You might convince yourself mentally, I'm only doing it for my long-term plans, but that's going to be a very rare person indeed, yeah? Leave it. Just leave it aside. Your adolescence will be so much simpler. You could do so much more for the pant if you weren't thinking about those things when it's not your time to get married. Just chill out, leave it to the side, focus on your bhakti, your naam. Because trust me, when you get married and have kids, yeah, it's like shahidi, right? It's like you're dead, yeah? All the things you wanted to do, it's very hard to do. Very hard to do, yeah? It's very hard to do. You've just taken on a massive burden, right? So therefore, do it when you're young. And one thing I want to say about this, yeah, is, in our past, like I'll give you a story. Baba Ajit Singh Ji, Tan Baba Ajit Singh and Tan Baba Jujar Singh Ji, both shaheed, yeah? But only one had to ask his permission from his father to go to battle. Yeah? Baba Ajit Singh didn't have to ask permission. Baba Ajit Singh said, I want to go next. Amara se Parvan. But Baba Jujar Singh had to ask permission. Why? Because becoming an adult in those days, okay, you became an adult much younger. When you were 16, you were seen as an adult. So all these young lads that are sitting here, unfortunately, society is conditioning us to become children for too long. So we're children when we're 16, we're children when we're at university, finally we get a job, we get treated like children, again by our parents. So mentally, we never took on responsibility. I can tell you that it's not necessary when you're 16 to behave like a child. You can start behaving like an adult and take on the responsibility for the pant. You could do something for the pant. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Yeah? Don't think of it, Chutti Mani, I'm an adult now, I'm going to do whatever I like. No, you could serve the pant a lot when you're 16 years old. A lot more than when you got 2 kids and you got things to do. That's the time to do your asal, seva. Yeah? Don't become a kid. Because what will happen is, yesterday talking about conditioning, what will happen is, if you don't start thinking for yourself when you're 16, by the time you're 24, you've had 8 years of mentally being an adult and not using your brain. So you just keep on not using your brain. There's a video called Solutionaries. How to make solutionaries and not to become a reactionary. What's in our month? We're all reactionaries. Something happens, let's do something. No 5-year plan, no 10-year plan. That's called being a reactionary. Not even a 1-year plan. Lucky to have a 6-month plan. We need to have long-term plans and act upon those plans. And that's called thinking long-term. So we need to have some plan. And the only way to do that is to start young and start working. So all of you guys who are 16 years old, you've got bare time on your hands. Yeah? Use it for something constructive. Build your Jeevan, yeah? Build your seva, do something for the Panth.